Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through social media and suddenly feel like everyone else has it all together? While you're just stuck, wondering why you're not measuring up? Yeah, you're not alone. Social media has totally changed the way we see ourselves, and in today's video we're diving into how it messes with our self-esteem and pushes us into that trap of constant comparison. Think of social media like a mirror, but a distorted one. It's not just reflecting reality, it's reflecting a super curated version of it. What do I mean? Well, most people only post the best moments, their vacations, achievements, those flawless selfies. And when we're constantly seeing that, we end up comparing their highlight reel to our behind the scenes. No wonder it messes with how we feel about ourselves. Be honest, have you ever noticed you feel kind of down after spending too much time scrolling? That's because social media can sneakily make us feel like we're not enough. And this hits even harder for young people who are still figuring out their self-worth. In fact, a study by the Royal Society for Public Health found that Instagram is actually the most damaging social media platform for mental health, especially among young women. The pressure to look perfect and have this amazing, exciting life, it can lead to anxiety, depression, even eating disorders. And then there's the whole FOMO thing. Seeing others at parties, on trips, hitting those milestones, it can make you feel like you're falling behind. And thanks to the algorithms that boost the most popular posts, it can feel like everyone else is living this amazing life, while you're just stuck watching from the sidelines. So, why do we compare ourselves so much? According to social comparison theory, it's actually something we naturally do. We evaluate ourselves by looking at others. And on social media, this plays out in two major ways. Upward comparison. This is when we compare ourselves to people we think are better. Celebrities, influencers, or even friends who seem to have it all together. But instead of inspiring us, this often leaves us feeling inadequate, like we're not enough. Downward comparison. On the flip side, this is when we compare ourselves to those we think are worse off. Sure, it might give us a temporary boost, but let's be real. It's not a healthy or lasting way to build self-esteem. And look, I'm not just saying this from research or theory. This is something I personally struggled with too. There are days I look in the mirror and feel damaged, broken. I don't see the person the world expects me to be. There's this pressure to be this or that, to live up to what everyone else thinks I should be. And it's exhausting. Honestly, it hurts deeply. But here's what I've learned. I can only be me, and that's okay. It's okay not to fit the mold. It's okay to feel broken sometimes. What matters most is realizing that the person staring back at me in the mirror, that person is enough. And so are you. We're all on a journey. We're all learning, growing, stumbling, and that's where our beauty lies. Our worth isn't defined by society standards or what we see in someone else's highlight reel. It's rooted in our authenticity. So let's do this together. Let's take a deep breath, release that pressure, and find the confidence to be ourselves, unapologetically. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that limiting social media use to just 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce feelings of depression and loneliness. Why? Because constant comparison distorts reality and makes us feel like we're falling behind, even when we're not. And I'll leave you with this. Aristotle once said that true wisdom isn't about chasing achievements or gaining approval from others. It begins with knowing ourselves, our values, our strengths, even our flaws. And in today's world where everything online pushes us to compare and conform, that message is more important than ever. When you truly know yourself, you stop relying on the fleeting validation of likes or comments. You start to realize that your worth isn't defined by the number of followers you have or the polished images you post online. Instead, you find real contentment in who you are, independent of all the noise and external expectations. And I get it. In a world where comparison feels almost impossible to escape, that's not always easy. But this is where Aristotle's message really hits home. He teaches us that self-knowledge and self-acceptance are the foundations of a fulfilling life. When you're grounded in your own truth, you can start to tune out those unrealistic standards and finally appreciate the beauty of your journey. He said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And that's so true. Real confidence isn't something you magically wake up with one day. It's not built by likes or by looking a certain way. It's built in the daily choices you make, choosing self-acceptance over comparison, practicing gratitude, and setting healthy boundaries with your screen. When those become habits, you create a kind of self-worth that's rooted in authenticity, not outside validation. And speaking of outside influences, let's talk about filters. Apps like Facetune and AI, beauty filters, have created some pretty unrealistic standards of beauty. You've probably seen it. Flawless skin, perfect bodies, effortless vibes. But here's the truth. Most of that isn't real. Social media is a curated space. It's like the highlight reel, not the behind the scenes. And it doesn't stop there. Social media can actually mess with how we see our own bodies. Research by the American Psychological Association found that too much exposure to idealized images online is linked to lower body confidence and even a greater desire for cosmetic surgery. Then there's influencer culture. A lot of what you see is the result of professional photography, heavy editing, and sponsored content, all designed to look perfect. And when you're scrolling through that kind of content every day, it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up. But what most people don't realize is just how much effort and staging goes into those posts. Have you noticed how the rise of augmented reality, or AR filters, has made it harder to tell what's real and what's not? These filters can change facial features, slim down bodies, and give you that super polished look that, let's be honest, just isn't achievable in real life. Now sure, they can be fun to play around with, but they also set really unrealistic beauty standards. And when we're exposed to these enhanced images over and over again, it can mess with how we see ourselves. We start feeling like our natural appearance doesn't measure up, and that's a problem. Even celebrities and influencers, the people who seem effortlessly perfect online, they struggle too. A lot of them have opened up about how hard it is to keep up with the pressure to always look flawless. Because here's the truth. Behind every perfect photo, there's probably hours of prep, great lighting, pro editing, and sometimes even a whole team working behind the scenes. Once you realize that, it becomes easier to step back and remember, perfection is an illusion. So what can you do? Start by changing what shows up on your feed. Follow people who are real, who post unfiltered moments, who promote body positivity and self-love. More and more creators on TikTok and Instagram are part of this growing number sign, no filter movement. People who are choosing to show up as they really are. And it's powerful. It helps reshape how we see beauty, not as perfection, but as authenticity. And while we're on the topic of social media, let's be real. These platforms are designed to keep you scrolling. Every time you get a like, a comment, or a new follower, your brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical linked to pleasure and, even addiction. It creates this loop where we start craving that validation. We keep checking our phones, refreshing our feed, hoping for another notification, another tiny hit of approval. And what's wild is, studies show that even the anticipation of getting likes can be just as powerful as actually getting them. That's why we keep coming back. But when the likes don't come, when the comments don't match our expectations, it hits hard. Suddenly we feel disappointed, stressed, even anxious. And that kind of pressure, it's not just exhausting, it's consuming. Do you sometimes feel anxious or restless when you're away from your phone? You're not alone. Over time, this kind of dependency can lead to social media addiction. And here's the thing. It's not just about being online all the time. It's about how that constant scrolling starts to affect how we see ourselves. Our self-worth can slowly become tied to likes, comments, and online approval. This is especially true for teenagers who are still going through crucial stages of brain development. At that age, self-identity and social validation are huge. And since social media activates the same reward pathways in the brain as substances like nicotine and alcohol, it's no surprise that excessive use can lead to real dependency. That fear of missing out, FOMO, just adds fuel to the fire. making it harder to unplug without feeling like something's missing. Studies even show that too much time on social media can rewire your brain's reward system. That instant gratification we get from a notification or like, it can make us crave it more and more. And over time, that can mess with our attention spans, increase procrastination, and even strain our real-life relationships. Not to mention the stress, mental fatigue, and sleep issues that come with being constantly plugged in. But here's the good news. We can take control. Setting boundaries is a great first step. Try out digital detoxes, limit screen time, and make time for offline activities you enjoy. Even something as simple as turning off notifications or focusing on in-person conversations can go a long way. You might also want to create no-phone zones, like during meals or at least an hour before bed. Studies show that cutting back on screen time before sleeping actually improves sleep quality and boosts your mental well-being. And when you replace that screen time with hobbies, exercise, or hanging out with people face-to-face, you'll start to feel the difference. Instead of chasing quick dopamine hits, you'll find fulfillment in more meaningful experiences. So, how can we maintain a healthy self-image while using social media? Here are some tips that could help. Follow accounts that inspire you. Imagine if your social media feed was a daily dose of motivation instead of a highlight reel that makes you doubt yourself. Curate your feed by following pages that promote body positivity, mental wellness, and real, unfiltered lifestyles. Don't be afraid to unfollow accounts that make you feel insecure or inadequate. Your feed should be a space that empowers you, not pressures you. Set limits on screen time. Ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling for hours only to feel drained afterward? Trust me, you're not alone. Social media should not take up more time than real life. Try setting daily limits on your apps so you can disconnect and focus on things that truly matter, like hobbies, relationships, and self-care. A little less screen time leads to a lot more peace of mind. Practice gratitude. Comparison is the thief of joy, but gratitude is the antidote. Here's a tip. Start a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself or your life every day. Shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have can be life-changing. Remember, social media is not real life. Social media is a highlight reel. The perfect vacations, flawless selfies, and seemingly effortless success are just part of the story. Behind every perfect post is a reality you don't see, filters, retakes, and carefully chosen moments. Don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's best moments. Engage authentically. Social media should be a place of connection, not just endless scrolling. Comment on posts that resonate with you. Support people who uplift you. Create and share meaningful content that reflects who you truly are. Instead of just consuming content, focus on building genuine relationships online. Take breaks when you need to. Feeling overwhelmed or anxious, it's okay to log off. A short social media detox, whether it's a few hours a day or even longer, can do wonders for your mental clarity and self-esteem. Life happens outside the screen. Make sure you're present for it. Challenge unrealistic beauty standards. A lot of what we see online is filtered, edited, or exaggerated. If certain accounts make you feel bad about yourself, mute, unfollow, or block them. Surround yourself with diverse, authentic, and uplifting content that reminds you that real beauty isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. At the end of the day, social media is just a tool. It's all about how we choose to use it. Be mindful of the content you consume. Be kind to yourself, and remember that your worth is not measured by likes or followers. You are wonderfully made just as you are, with unique qualities and beauty that no one can take away from you. Don't let the digital world steal the happiness it was meant to bring. After all, social media was designed for entertainment, not comparison. We all have our own strengths and beauty that make us who we are. No filter, like, or comment can define your worth. Instead of seeking validation online, let's focus on building self-love and confidence from within. The goal is to use social media as a positive space for connection, inspiration, and entertainment, not a tool for self-criticism. So, the next time you scroll through your feed and feel that wave of comparison creeping in, take a step back and remind yourself, you are enough. Your value isn't tied to someone else's curated highlight reel. True confidence comes from embracing yourself, flaws and all. If this resonated with you, let's start a conversation. Drop a comment below and share how you navigate social media without letting it define you. See you in the next video. Stay confident and stay you.